One of the things that I would really like to talk about, but I'm a little bit nervous about because I get pretty emotional, is my friendships over my life. One of the things that happened when I left the church that I grew up in, of course, it was very difficult to maintain close friendships with a lot of the guys I played basketball with and that I grew up with. And it was like having finding a whole different circle of friends. And for a number of years, I didn't make much effort to make contact with even my best friends. My brothers have always been really good friends with me, and there's been no disruption there. My sisters, it's the family, despite the fact that it was a shock for them when I left the church, we've maintained closeness, and we spent a lot of time together. But it was really interesting. About a year ago, I was telling my wife about one of the best friends that I had when I was young. His name is Jack Hicken, and we played basketball against each other, and we played basketball together. He was in South Africa. He was on that team, and then he came to the U of A, and he was on the U of A Golden Bears. We were sort of known as the Gold Dust Twins because we played very well together. And when I left the church, I tried to keep some contact with Jack, but I don't know, it's very difficult. And I was telling Janet, my wife, about my friendship with Jack Hicken, and I wasn't paying attention to what she was doing, and she went over to the computer, and she found Jack Hicken's phone number, and she dialed it, and handed me the phone when he answered. And we took a course together when we were at the university in the English novel, and one of the novels was Dickens' Great Expectations. If you've read it, you recall that the Pip, the main character, had a brother-in-law who was very kind to him and a very good friend, a blacksmith, and he always called him my boy. And Jack and I got in the habit of calling each other my boy, on the ball floor. Give me the ball, my boy, and stuff like that. Anyway, Janet handed me the phone, and I said, "My boy," and we both started to cry immediately, and we had a wonderful conversation. And toward the end of the conversation, Jack said, I wrote you a poem." Jack is quite a poet. He's got a volume of really good cowboy poetry, type poetry. Anyway, he said, I wrote you this poem, but I didn't know whether you'd be interested or not, and I didn't send it to you. And he said, "Fern, where is that poem?" And his wife went and brought it to him immediately. And he read it to me. This is it. "My friend and I said goodbye some 30 years ago. Not a formal parting with handshake, hug, or tears, just a silent drift helped by innuendo. Competing worlds and distance. Yes, distance. A widening with compass more than miles. New goods, new life, new wife, new springs, all new, purged and pristine. A baptism of sorts. A spirit free to fly, unencumbered and unnumbered with the past. So we flew in different skies, coming close occasionally, but seldom eye to eye. Me, conservative to the core and straight. Him, a venture man, striding out the gates of social norms to sense the winds which I would only hear and catalogue. And down the roads of difference and time, we raced the decades through maturity to gray. And when I met him yesterday, It took no words to say. He was my friend again, for all the years of difference rolled away and really didn't matter. Signed by Jack Hicken. It says